DJ Thomas is scared for his life because Tabo can literally end his life any minute now, and Tabo wants to know, where did he sleep with my busy at a hotel at his house at the office? And then he remembers there was a day where DJ Thomas was going around naked at Barry FM, and he begins to cry. Guys, he went from angry to literally heartbreak, and DJ Thomas obviously was crying because he was seeing his life flash between his eyes, and KG is panicking, who is a studio manager, and he's now calling the police, he's now calling the security, and in works make a reminding Tabo that, hey, if you pull that trigger, not only will you kiss goodbye your freedom, but don't forget that you are father of two, and you don't want to repeat my mistakes, because when I was angry I also decided to take a gun and shoot someone innocently. And what happened to me? I went to jail. Now Tabo realizes that he is not a gangster, and he cannot be able to survive in jail, so he takes his, and he decides to leave now. Before Miji decides to follow her son, she decides to threaten KG because of the fact that KG now has threatened to call police. And he's like, remember, my family has raised a lot of advertisement in this whole place, so you need to think carefully if you want to report my son for bringing a gun at Very. And obviously KG in fear decides that he will not tell the police about this. May obviously follows her son, and she eventually gets the gun now while she is speaking to her husband John Mapitisi. She basically wants to find out where she can be able to hide this gun away from Tabo. And oh my gosh, guys, John is so afraid of guns, like he literally does not want it anywhere near him, and he's freaking out. I think he realized that, hey, this thing can literally end his life anytime soon, so he tells Miji that she needs to figure out what she needs to do with this. Now back at the studio, DJ Thomas is perishing. He is literally fearing his life. He's even thinking of sleeping and staying at Barry FM until the fires go down outside, and KG says, you cannot turn our prestigious studio into a hood rat's living situation just because you've been taking your schlong in people's wives, cakes. You need to leave immediately. So he decides he's going to call his girlfriend, and even though his girlfriend is irritated because she just heard that her mana has been cheating his charm, and as sweet talk convinces her to allow him to come and stay with her in Toria. Now Alfred is worried, so he has been getting calls from obviously my B's family, the dad and everyone, figuring out like what is going on. And Alfred is like, listen, I know my niece, there has to be an explanation for this. I know my beauty is a good girl, and I'm not going to believe these Jezebel accusations that's going on. Now my beauty has been in the car this whole time, and she realizes that, hey, life has to go on. She cannot be hiding in the car for too long, and she realizes that the only person who can be able to talk to her right now is her bestie Lizzie, but her bestie stays with her mother Jacobeth, the one and only Principal Toback, and Principal wants nothing to do with this Jezebel of Turf Lope, and it was actually Lizzie who had to convince her mother to allow her to come. And now talks issue with Mappy is not only the fact that she wants to do is in turf love, but the fact that she has been a bad friend. Now we have seen that my beauty's neglectation of the kids, neglectation of her husband, but also she's been neglecting her friend. She didn't even know that Lizzie did the surgery. She never came to see Lizzie after the surgery, so she has been just a bad human being, all because of Thomas's sausage. Now obviously Lizzie wants to understand what is going on with Mitty, and when Mitty says something, you hear to at the background echoing another thing. And this is the time she decides that she wants to do a spring cleaning in the kitchen, and she asks my beauty to go in the kitchen so that she can obviously reprimand her mom, like, hey, let's give her some, grace. And Principal Toback said the trash needs to go out. My beauty needs to leave. She cannot rotten you with this Jezebel spirit that she's bringing into our home. No one I know decides to do it as a woman. Now the sad reality about all of this is Tybo's is perishing. He is no different to the songs that we used to see in the 90s of these R&B artists in the rain, crying, coming down, down the steps. He cannot believe that his wife was eaten by DJ Thomas. Now, unfortunately, DJ Thomas has not only made enemies through Tybo's and me, but also Leo wants nothing to do with him, and we know that DJ Thomas was a big influencer to Baser. Now going back to the Homo household, we see that Pax has decided to finally take accountability, and he even decided to write a sorry letter to Jacob. He just basically wants to apologize to everyone who he did wrong, and he wants to start his life afresh, as well as he wants to go back to school. And that's basically today's episode. One was definitely a bit disappointed, because I wanted more from today, especially through the climax that we had yesterday, But I definitely know that next week it's going to be hot, it's going to be interesting, because at the end of the day, Medi needs to go back home, and she needs to face the music. Just like Jacobeth has said anyway. Do let me know down below your thoughts and your opinions. Do you think Midi was in the wrong? Or do you think that Tabo has cheated on her 2 times before? Why are they making such a big scene? We have come to end of today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell down below. Till next time, love and light. Bye.